most business owners think their biggest problem are things like marketing, sales, cash flow, things around profit. Okay, but here's the thing. There's a silent killer destroying possibly your business, many business owners from the inside out. And I discovered it after seeing it with my clients, but experiencing it firsthand and almost losing everything. And here's the crazy part. Fixing this one thing is going to help you break through that imaginary ceiling that's keeping you stuck or playing a limiting game or even, possibly playing small. And it's going to help every area of your business once you implement it. And today I'm going to show you exactly what it is and how to fix it before it's too late. So if you haven't come across me before, my name is Gavin Weber. I do business consulting, and my wheelhouse is helping people incorporate what their talents and gifts are and run a business that they absolutely love, that works optimally, that gives them the leverage and the time and the lifestyle they've always wanted, and helps them fulfill their purpose. So if that sounds good to you and you want to see how to take your business to the next level in a way that's not stressful or grinding, then you're going to love this content, and I invite you to subscribe. So let's dive into this video. So having my own business for over 20 years and coaching other business owners for a little over 10 years, I've seen this reoccurring theme, right? And I wasn't aware of it. Most of my clients haven't been aware of it. And it's something we kind of talked about on the peripheral and that would come up, but we didn't really pinpoint it. We didn't see it, okay, up front. And because of that, there's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of pain. It was all unnecessary. And eventually, when this really crushed me one day, because there were some businesses I had a lot of success in, and I was doing this thing I'm going to talk about, and then there was others that I was missing the boat completely, and those were a struggle, and I failed in pretty much all of them. And I couldn't figure out why. And once it finally hit me, that's when, this is what I'm teaching other people, is to become aware of it and exactly what to do about it, right? So again, here's the theme, is that most business owners, just everything's about profit, okay? And they've usually hit a level of success, meaning they're making money, they're comfortable, they're doing kind of well, whether really well or kind of well. But they've reached this point where they have zero idea of how to get to the next level. They've done what they know how to do, right? And then they're, I want more, or I'm working too much, or I'm grinding too hard. This wasn't, what I had in mind, and they don't know what to do. And so, yeah, of course they're stuck and frustrated, and all these things happen, which I'll get into. But here's the real problem, okay? The big problem is, this is what happened to me, and what I've seen happen with so many clients is they build a business that they're not thrilled with, that they're not passionate about, that they don't really like doing or running anymore. And so they don't enjoy it. And it's becoming harder and harder to do it. They don't wake up excited. It's like a have to. Everything is like hard. There seems to be more obstacles. It's like, when is this finally going to get easier? When am I going to break through all the little crap and all the challenges that always face us, right? And it's literally those businesses, if you feel that way, it's a ticking time bomb. And your business, and quite frankly, your soul, is dying a slow death, and you probably don't even realize it. And I'm going to get into more on why that happens. But if you're not inspired, if you are not excited about your business, and it's a grind, and it's a have to, you're in trouble. And you need to realize that. So are you one of these business owners that aren't realizing this, that might be having a huge problem where your business is slowly dying and you don't even see it, okay? So here's the signs of a struggling business, okay? You're working really long hours. Now, I know in the beginning that, when you getting it off the ground, it might take a lot of long hours. And quite frankly, if you really enjoy working those long hours and it's not detrimental to your mindset and your health and your family life or your personal life, then that's, not necessarily what I'm talking about, right? But if you're working long hours and way more than you want to, that's a sign your business is struggling. Burnout, experiencing exhaustion and lack of motivation and like, oh my gosh, like I don't even want to get up today. Or you've lost your passion for your business. Like you no longer, it's just something you do because it's a habit, but you don't enjoy it anymore. That you're frustrated, feeling stuck, that you keep getting, here and here and here. And even though you might have a certain level of success, you just can't seem to go to that next level and you can't progress. And that you're starting to get desperate. Like you're starting to like worry a little bit. That might be how you came across this video. And you're uncertain on what to do next, where to go next, what that would look like. You're already busy. You're already spending a lot of time. So it's like, how can I free up any time? How can I make changes? This is what I know. I don't know what else to do. And that's a scary, lonely feeling. I've been there and I know exactly what it looks like. So let's look at what you need to do next. But before we go there, let's look a little bit deeper on like the root cause. Like what's going on here that you might not be aware of. And it's important to understand that, to see that, become aware of it, because otherwise nothing changes, right? So here's the thing, there is a profit misconception. Like business owners think that if they just make money and have a profit, that they're all set and all is well, right? And obviously business is about making money. I have no argument with that, of course, but it's completely false and not a good idea to make it only about profit. You're going to be in trouble and someday face the things I just went through with you if it's only about profit. And if you're watching this video, you already are experiencing that. Like, oh my gosh, I have an issue and I can't figure it out. Like I'm making this money or I'm paying my bills, yet this stinks. I don't like this and I don't know what to do, right? So the real problem is your business is dying because it's disconnected from your purpose. It's disconnected from who you really are. And what I mean by that is like, what are you good at? What are your talents? What lights you? And if you don't have, not every area of your business, there's going to be some stuff, but if you're not spending most of your time on your purpose, who you are, what you're good at, what you came here to do, like eventually that's going to catch up to you. Eventually you're going to question why you're doing this business. And eventually the profit will not justify the means of what you're having to do, how you're going to have to sell out your time and your soul and your family and all these other things. It will catch up to you, which is why it's kind of like a heart attack. When you over time you're eating terribly and it's just like it's under the surface, it's building and building. Boom, one day you have a heart attack. Same thing with a dying business. Is it's like it gets harder and harder to grind and hustle and work. You don't like it anymore. And then one day you're like, it's not worth it. I can't do this anymore. And no matter where you're at on that track, like if you're on that track, let's just get off it right away. Let's get you to where your business could be, should be. What does this look like? I want to give you an example to hammer this home a little bit more. And I understand that you probably like, I'm comprehending what you're saying, Gavin, but let's make this clear. So here's the tale of two entrepreneurs and see where you're at with one of these two, okay? Entrepreneur number one, they're passion, purpose driven, right? So they started their business because they really enjoy it. It's something they could offer tremendous value and service to people. And it's how they want to contribute to this world and in the process, make a profit with it. So it's like a game to them. And they get to overcome obstacles and the challenges because they enjoy it. And they look at it all as like a growth mindset, as a learning journey rather than like, oh my gosh, this is really hard, right? And then let's look at entrepreneur number two, trapped in success, okay? The second entrepreneur wakes up and feels like it's all just a to-do list and it's kind of like a nightmare. And they built themselves a job within their own business that needs them. That if they were to walk away or not be there, they're not making the money. They're not, having the engine go. And that is not a business, right? And that's quite frankly where so many entrepreneurs and small business owners are. And probably why you're watching this and they feel limited and stuck. And it's like there's only so many times in a day. So they're struggling just to maintain it because it's a grind. They don't love it. and it's not what they had hoped for. And quite frankly, they're in big trouble. Like, they're probably in denial, yet they are looking for answers, and they know they can't sustain the hours. They can't sustain the lack of enjoyment, the lack of fulfillment. And there is this little voice, there's this nudge that's like, gosh, there's got to be something more. And that, me even doing these videos, me with my business community, how I do consulting now, like, I've gone through this pain. And I had this realization, and now I help business owners overcome it. And it's very transformational on so many different levels. Yes, profit-wise, but that's not the whole thing. It's like, what's your reason for being here? What's your why? And how can you incorporate that in your business? And when you're able, with your existing business, this doesn't mean you have to start a new business, when you're able to see how that's possible and implement that, everything changes. So I want to go a little bit deeper in what that could look like. When you're implementing your purpose in your business, like, here's the mental hurdle people have. And like, I can just see people going like, oh, I want to go back to the marketing and the sales and, advertising and getting leads and stuff. So with purpose is that they think that it's like charity, that like, you can't really, it's not applicable to bring your passion and your gifts and your talents to your business. Like, you have to do what you have to do. That's the wrong thinking, not true. It's just you don't have the big picture of what that would look like to get there. Also, most people follow traditional business advice. Like, times are changing. If you're not in the AI game, and it's one of the big things that I help my clients do for leveraging themselves and get rid of the mundane tasks so they can spend more time on what they're really good at. But like, you don't follow what everybody else is teaching you to do. That's been the problem. It's part of why you're stuck. And if you don't love what you do, you're not doing what you're good at, you're going to be limited to a certain extent. To a big extent. You look at anybody who's had these massive companies, not only do they leverage themselves, but they had this focus and like this was their gift and they really exploded it. And if you follow traditional advice, it's going to cost you on a lot of levels. Now, not all, I understand there's always going to be the basics, right? But you got to start thinking outside the box. Also, ineffective solutions. Like, most solutions don't work because they do not address the core issue of aligning your business with your purpose. Okay, so when you're aligned, everything flows. And that's kind of why this is named Blissfully, but everything kind of just lines up. And you start perceptually seeing your business and how things that happen completely different, which is a game changer and a big part of the problem, because you just see what you see. You think how you're judging things is all there is, and it's not. There is so much more waiting for you. But you've got to have the foundation of your purpose, because if you're always chasing the money, eventually it's going to catch up to you. And I can't say that enough. And then the consequences. Unless you find your way to make your business your calling and implement your purpose into it, at the very least, you'll barely grow and just hang on. And at the very worst, you're going to have a crash landing. Possibly your business is going to fail and you go out of business. And I'm not saying that for fear, and that's not hyperbole. Like, they say 80% of businesses go out of business within the first 2 years. And once you get beyond 5 years, like, you have a good chance. But like, if you dig into that deeper and see people changing their business or jumping to a new business, it's because they lack the passion. They lack the desire to get up and do it anymore. And the money they're making isn't worth it anymore. Or they're so miserable, they just endure it. And that's not the life we came here to live. That is not what you came here to do as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. You came here for so much more than that, right? So here's the power of a purpose-driven business. Like, why would you want to do this? First of all, you're going to have an unstoppable drive. Like, nothing stops a business owner who loves what they do. It doesn't even cross their mind. Like, they're indestructible. It's just like, oh, that's a challenge, or this is an opportunity to learn from this and I get to overcome it. When you hate your business, like, oh, this is another reason like I shouldn't be doing this, or why is it so hard? You feel victim, right? Like a victim. Where when you love it, you're like, doing this. It's a completely different mindset and energy, and like, this is happening. So it's crucial to have that. Also, You've got like what I would call efficient leverage. Like when you have a purpose-driven business, you're forced to find ways to get rid of, number one, get rid of, yes, or replace a lot of the mundane activities that you hate doing with either AI or employees, and completely leverage yourself to spend your time, hopefully as quickly as possible, 80% of your time on what you should be doing and what you love doing. And yes, there'll always be things that's like, that's not high on my list and that's not what I'm talking about. But essentially, through AI and employees, you leverage yourself so you're focusing on what you should be doing as the owner and as the value contributor to your business. Also, what else with a purpose-driven business, the power of it? The higher energy. Like if you wake up excited about what you get to do, then like you get way more done, right? But you're operating at a much higher vibration and energy level, and it's fun. Like you enjoy yourself. If you're not enjoying yourself, you have a major, major problem. I'm not saying all day, every day, but if you should have some natural motivation, inspiration, excitement about your day, and if you don't, you're in trouble. I mean, that's a telltale sign, like I said before. And then also, you've got an alluring brand. When you light up, when you operate from high energy, when you're excited about what you're doing, other people are gonna be like, hey, like, I wanna be a part of that, or I like that product, I like this service, because like this person's happy. And sometimes they'll consciously see that in your marketing and everything you do. But what you represent, your vibe, is going to be alluring. It's going to be attractive to the people that you want to serve. And all parts, the fabric of your entire business is going to be installed with your energy and your excitement in who you are. And it's going to be alluring. And when you have these things, it's like everything just works easier. Everything just works like you're aligned. It's in flow. And you're like, gosh, like no wonder it was a grind before, because everything was a struggle. Now everything's a possibility. Completely different shift, right? So here's what needs to happen. You know, you've got to transform your business by applying, discovering your purpose, right? And you've got to identify your gifts. Figure out who you are, what you're good at. Most of us know that, but they're like, we just don't think, how can we bring that into a business and actually make it profitable? That's because you're so used to traditional methods, you can't see it. It's right there if you know what you're doing, but you don't see it, okay? You've got to open yourself up to that, and that's what I'm going to be teaching you. Also, align your business with your purpose. Like implement your purpose into your business, right? So I just went through all the power of that, but that's going to transform your business when you do that. And you've got to focus on your strengths, like 80% of your time. And it might start being 20 and then 30 and then 50, but within a few weeks, a few months, possibly a year, you can be spending most of your time on what you enjoy, what you're good at, what you should be doing, right? And then you're going to learn to delegate and also eliminate or automate, okay? And when you do that, like there's so many things you're doing right now that you shouldn't be doing, that you're not that good at, that AI or other people could do better. And that's possibly their gift, right? If you're employees. And even with AI, like there's just things it's better at and that should be doing. So here's the thing. The main purpose of this video was to wake you up to this issue and help you change course. And now that you're aware of the real problem, that your purpose isn't in your business and what that looks like, then you can realize your business is probably dying a slow death, which is an issue, right? And you can start to figure out what you really want for your business, what you want for your life, what that would potentially look like, and where it's headed, and how to transform that. And then look out, because when you do that, nothing can stop you. It's fun, you feel amazing, you're living your purpose, you have fulfillment and meaning and joy, and nothing stops people who are aligned with that. So if this is up your alley, I would invite you to subscribe. I'd love to hear questions and comments and and I'm gonna have more teachings on this. I also have what I call a Blissflow business community that is helping entrepreneurs and small business owners apply this and have to do with AI and your vibration and implementing your purpose and what that looks like, right? Everything I've been talking about today, and really have that meaning and that, the reasons why you started this business in the first place, and have a blast doing it. So if you're ready to see what's possible, check the link below and you can go check that out. It's at a very low ticket price. I don't want price to ever be an issue why people wouldn't join that. And I'm looking forward to meeting you there. Join this YouTube community if you'd rather just watch the videos, all good. But if you're looking for much more support with other people who are doing the same thing and implementing this, I invite you to join us. So I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye, my friend. Much love. Bye-bye.